What's up, everybody? How are you doing today? I hope everybody is well. I am doing pretty good, my daggone self. Today was a pretty chill day. Had a lot going on, but it still was all right. It wasn't crazy hectic. It was just, consistent. So I just wanted to do my daily ride along. Just kind of chit chat with you all about what's been going on. I hope everybody's doing good. What did you learn today? What did you take away from the day? For me, I think today was just really about being self-aware. I had a bit of a rough day yesterday. I didn't vlog yesterday because I was really not in a good place yesterday. I did not want to be all on camera pretending and things like that because that's just not who I am. Yesterday it was more than just frustration. So I had a situation that came up yesterday, and it was like right before I left work, and I couldn't figure out if it was me making it more than what it was, or if this is really like the perception of what I was dealing with was real. This is me saying, I'm struggling with why this is bothering me so much, and I don't think that it should bother me as much as it does. So I'm looking at, what can I do to bring myself out of this situation and not allow myself to re-enter the situation? How can I move past it and move past it for good? So I don't know the answer to that right now. So anyway, I wanted to, that ties into, my lesson. So just really becoming aware of who you are and what it is that you desire for yourself, whether it's short-term or long-term, and sticking to the fact that that's something that you want and constantly working at how to achieve that. So what I want to talk about today is just something, this is more for bariatric patients, I think, than anybody else today. I had my bariatric surgery September 17th, 2014. So September 17th of this year obviously made my 3-year surgery. And I've had, some ups and downs. I've had, a few struggles and things like that. But as a bariatric patient, it's not just about having the surgery. It's not a quick fix. It's not something that, it's the easy way out and things like that, because I was really ill after I had my surgery. And no, it wasn't my fault. It was just my body was struggling with my recovery. So here I am 3 years out, and I don't know if anybody else has gone through this, because, there's a psychological component to having bariatric surgery. And one of the things that you go through for the insurance is you have to go through psychological testing. You have to, they do a profile on you and things like that to help determine if you're a good candidate for this surgery. And I think that, I'm fine psychologically, but periodically I go through things where I think that I would have gone through these things whether I had surgery or not. But I think they're intensified because of the changes in the biological makeup of my digestive system. Some people don't realize that when you have bariatric surgery, it affects the entire way your body does things. It affects, how you process, the energy that is taken from the food that you consume. It affects your energy level. It affects your mood. It affects your estrogen level as a woman. It affects so many things, and everything kind of balances each other out. So as a bariatric patient, one of the things I look at is, I've lost all this weight and, things like that. So I have put on clothes. Well, let me back up and I'll tell you the story. Right after I lost a considerable amount of weight, and I shop out of necessity, I went into the store to buy myself some clothes because I had grown out of almost all of my clothes, and I need clothes to work and to go to work in and things like that. So I wasn't buying a lot because I was still losing weight pretty consistently. So I went to buy me some clothes, and I was up to a size 22, right? So I was in the big girl section, and I was like, I don't wear this size anymore. But when I was looking at the size that I thought I wore, because the clothes that I was wearing didn't quite fit me the way that they should, because they were a little too big. But when I was in the section that I thought I was supposed to be in, looking at clothes that should fit me at the weight that I was then, I kept saying, that's not going to fit me. That's too small. That's too small. So I was going through this thing in my head where in my mind, I still had myself imaged as a woman wearing a size 22. And even though I had lost some of the weight, I still was having trouble processing the fact that I was now in a much smaller size. So I'm looking at these clothes and I'm like, dang, I'm not really sure what size to buy because I don't know what size I wear now. So I've always had this thing about trying on clothes because I don't like taking my clothes off in public and things like that. So I kept saying I don't have a choice but to try these clothes on because I think I know what size I wear, but I didn't know what size I wore because I hadn't bought myself any clothes at that size. So I was in this tug of war, standing there holding this outfit, and there was another coworker of mine who had the same bariatric surgery, and I called her in the middle of the store, and I had a meltdown. And I'm just bawling and crying and bawling and crying, and she was like, Tony, you need to calm down. Just go in the dressing room, try the clothes on, try to figure out, what size you wear. She said, everything will be okay. And I was like, it's not going to be okay. I don't know what to buy. I don't know what size I wear. I was in a size 22 and I'm still fat. And, it was a hot mess. So anyway, I took her advice. I went on ahead in the dressing room. I tried on the outfit and it was too big. It was too big. So the size I thought I wore, I think it was like a 16 or something like that. It was too big. So then I was standing there in the mirror looking at myself going, I'm trying this outfit on and it's too big. And I was like, okay, well, what size do I wear? So I went back and I got a 14. The 14 fit, but I actually could have gone down to a 12. But because I was having so much anxiety about, buying clothes, the 14 fit and it wasn't falling off. So I convinced myself that it was okay for me to buy 14 because that's probably really the size I wore. And today I probably just feel a little bit skinnier, than what I really am. And I rationalized all this in my head. So I bought the size 14. Went home. Went on about my day. Doing what I was doing. And I had this conversation with my husband. And I'm telling him what happened. So he was looking at me kind of odd. And I'm like, why are you looking at me like that? And he said, go put the outfit on. So I went in the room to go put the outfit on. Then I was like, wait a minute. I said, why you want me to put the outfit on? He said, because I want to see what you got. So I didn't know what he was doing was trying to see where my mind was. But I went and put the outfit on. And when I came out the room, he just looked at me. He said, babe, you need to take that back to the store and get a smaller size. And I'm looking at him like, I can't do that. I can't do that. I instantly went into a panic. Now, I don't know why this was so dramatic for me, but it was. And I've noticed that I haven't had situations that extreme, but I have situations like that. And one of them was when I went to the homecoming game, and I put on my t-shirt and everything, the alumni t-shirt, and technically the t-shirt was a little big on me. It's actually bigger than the shirts that I've been buying, but I convinced myself that I needed a large. So when I put on the large t-shirt, I had plenty of room. It was baggy. I could have actually gotten a medium. Oh my God. People started posting pictures, and I'm looking at myself, and I kid you not, the way that I felt when I was walking around doing what I was doing, you couldn't tell me. I felt like a size 5, size 7. People started posting these pictures, and I'm looking at these pictures, and to me, when I look at these pictures, I looked like the size 22 girl that I was before I had my surgery. And here I am again having a meltdown because I'm looking at this picture like, oh my God, I'm just so huge. I've gained in my mind, I'm saying I've gained all my weight back. I did all of that for nothing. Rationalizing what I was seeing in these pictures and how I felt and what I saw in the mirror, something wasn't processing. So I've been dealing with that too. I didn't want to have all that on camera yesterday because in 3 years, everything that I've been through, all I kept thinking was I've wasted all of my time. I've wasted money. All I could think about was I've undone everything that I've done. And I'm looking at this picture. And I asked my husband, is this what you see? And he started explaining to me about, how people say the camera adds 10 pounds and all this other kind of stuff. And he started talking to me like that. And I'm looking at him. I'm like, just tell me, is this what you see? Because to me, I look like I was back at 257 pounds. I don't look in these pictures that they're posting from the homecoming game, that they're posting from the after party. I'm looking at myself in these pictures, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I am so huge. I am now back at 257 pounds. And I hated it. I hated it so bad because I couldn't stop thinking about, how sick I was. And I couldn't stop thinking about, how horrible I felt. And, when people say, oh, people who have bariatric surgery didn't lose the weight, the real weight, and all that kind of stuff. You say what you want to say. I don't care. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. But you can't say to people who struggle with weight and who struggle with being well and things like that, and who have sincerely put in the effort, put in the work to try to lose the weight, and something is not happening, and they choose to have bariatric surgery. You can't say that it's the easy way out because you have no idea. You have no idea what all a person you have no idea what a person goes through. And people look at me at work and stuff, and they talk about, I'm so proud of you and blah, blah, blah. And that's all fine and good. I appreciate that. But I kid you not, sometimes when I see myself, I'm like, dag, what is going on? All the going to the gym and everything in the world is not going to resolve the anxiety that I experience when stuff like that happens, because right now I'm between a size 10 and a size 12. That's where I sit. But in my mind, because of these pictures that was just taken this past weekend, I look like I was back in a size 22. So even though realistically I can still fit my size 10 and 12 clothes, when I look in the mirror, ever since I've seen those pictures, it doesn't make any sense to me. Y'all remember the movie Shallow Hal, where this guy, he was so vain that, they put a little curse or whatever on him, hypnotized him. I can't remember exactly the details, but basically he was to see people for their inner beauty. So he was attracted to this girl. I can't think of what her name is, the actress, and she was a big girl, but he saw this beautiful woman, very sexy woman. And so it's the opposite of that. So to me, as long as I'm not looking in the mirror, I feel sexy, I feel attractive, I feel gorgeous, I feel everything that to me is in my heart. But when I look in the mirror, ever since I looked at these pictures online, I see this person that's just obese, this fat, unattractive person. And people who don't know what that's like, you need to be careful how you talk to people, because you don't know what you really should. Because I think it's unfair to make the assumption about a person just based on the fact that they had bariatric surgery. I am not ashamed of the fact that I had bariatric surgery. And I tell people all the time, I've had bariatric surgery. One of the reasons I do that is because I want people to understand, when they start looking at my plate and trying to figure out why I can't eat that much and things like that, I don't have time to be trying to pretend, No, I can only a cup and a half, 2 cups of food. That's it for me. And sometimes I can't even get that down me. It just depends on what all is going on with me throughout the day, what's going on with my digestive system, what's going on with me being able to go to the restroom, things like that. And if I'm having a bad week and my body is not reacting the way it's supposed to, there are times when I have gone to bed without eating because I don't feel good. I can't get enough food in me, and be okay. I'm not going to force myself to eat and I don't feel good. Even before I had bariatric surgery, I wouldn't force myself to eat. If I wasn't hungry, I wouldn't sit up there just, So keep in mind, I didn't have bariatric surgery because I had an eating disorder, whether it was bulimia or anorexia or whatever. I didn't have any of that. I had bariatric surgery because I was sick. I was sick and I was getting sicker. Every time I went to the doctor, it was something. They was putting me on medication for something. When you get to a point where you have arthritis all over your body, when you have high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, arthritis, plantar fasciitis, you've had gout, you have myofascial syndrome, bursitis, if you have facet joint syndrome, sacroiliacs, I can give you a laundry list of things that was wrong with me. And now I'm on medication for blood pressure and my estrogen level because I'm menopausal. We didn't mention that one. So those are the 2 medications I have to take. Outside of that, I just take supplements. So for me to have bariatric surgery and give up all that medication, that's what I wanted. I had bariatric surgery because I wanted to be well. I wanted to get rid of all those medicines because I wish I could get rid of the blood pressure, but I mentioned in another video where they talk about blood pressure can either be genetic or blood pressure can be self-induced, which has to do with your diet and things like that. And I'm finding out that it wasn't just my diet. I have high blood pressure, family members that suffer with hypertension all throughout my family, diabetes all throughout my family. But I'm thankful now that I don't struggle with, the diabetes and everything else. I still have to take pain medicine every day to make sure that I'm okay, because if I go without pain medicine more than 2 days, I'm debilitated. I can't really move around like I need to. So there's nothing I can do about that. It just is what it is. So this is not me ranting. This is just me saying, sometimes in life, people have to really pay attention to how they behave, because it ain't all about the fact that you feel like you should be able to say what you want to say. Sometimes this is just about being humane. Be compassionate, be considerate, because first of all, at the end of the day, it ain't none of your business what people are doing with their bodies. It does not impact you in any way, shape, form, or fashion. So wouldn't you want people to treat you with compassion and be humane towards you. So then you need to display that. You need to make sure that that is what you are showing other people, because what goes around comes around. While you may not be impacted by anything like that right now, you have no idea where your life is going. The healthiest person in the world can be the sickest person in the world in a blink of an eye, and you never know who you are going to be at the mercy of. There's a story in the Bible when Paul's name got changed to Saul, that talk about how he was at the mercy of the very people he persecuted. You know, when he was in a situation where he couldn't see, the people that took care of him were the ones that he was persecuting. So, you know, you just have to really be careful, because you don't know how God is going to turn things around. So anyway, I'm probably, this is probably going to do it for me for the rest of the day. So, but I'm not being ugly, y'all. I'm really not. I just want to share that with you all, because, you know, I have my struggles, and I didn't want to come on here yesterday and, you know, be all woe is me and down and sad and, you know, feeling self-pity and all that kind of stuff. That's not who I am. I'm a person that I believe in spreading positivity regardless of what you go through, trying to make sure that you keep a good mindset about, you know, what it is that you're struggling with, trying to find a silver lining in things. And I just didn't feel like yesterday was a day that I could do that. And I don't like being phony. What you see is what you get. I just don't like that. And so I didn't want to give you all that. Am I giving y'all that now? No. This is just me kind of explaining where I was and what I believe and the things that I'm going through. And I can't apologize for being myself, you know. So I appreciate y'all stopping by and you know, spending the day with me. And if you've had bariatric surgery and these are some of the struggles that you go through, leave me a comment below and let me know, you know, what it is that you know, what did you do to kind of overcome, you know, these feelings that you have. If you haven't had bariatric surgery, but you have a loved one or somebody that you are close to that had bariatric surgery, and you see them struggling with stuff like this, leave me a comment below and let me know, how do you help them? What do you say to them? How do you help to nurture them past that feeling? As always, I appreciate you stopping by and spending your time with me. It's been awesome. And love yourself. Love somebody else. Until next time, y'all take care. Bye.